The Mysteries of Easter Island. Easter Island is the most remote place on Earth. It is famous for its hundreds of huge moai statues. There is a small remote island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean called Easter Island. It is in the middle of nowhere because it is the most remote place in the world. More than 1,000 years ago, settlers from the Polynesian Islands arrived on this small island. They are known as the Rapa Nui people. We don't know why they stayed because the island had very little fresh water, few trees, an active volcano, and it was more than 1,000 miles away from the next island. In addition, few crops grew on the island. Life was hard for the islanders, but they managed to accomplish some amazing achievements. One is the creation of the 887 moai. Moai is how it's pronounced. Statues that they built. They were probably built to honor their ancestors or their chief. Another amazing feat is that they made up their own form of writing called Rongo Rongo. No one today can read the mysterious writing of the ancient islanders, and no one knows for sure how or why the huge statues were built. Easter Island was named 300 years ago when a European explorer, discovered the island on Easter Sunday. He went home and told everyone about the Rapa Nui people and their amazing statues. Since then, people have always wondered why the Rapa Nui people stayed on the remote island and how they made the wonderful statues. Some people think that aliens must have given the Rapa Nui people a hand to make and move the statues because they are so big and heavy. Some are as tall as a 5-story building and weigh 80 tons. A few of them have hats that also weigh a few tons. How did they lift them onto their heads? At first, we thought the statues were just heads, but scientists have unburied the rest of the body and found that the statues sit on a platform. We thought it was just up to here, but when it was dug out, you can see the whole body is there. There were no metal tools for them to use, so it was difficult for them to carve them out of the rock quarry on the side of the volcano. They used basalt, a hard igneous rock, to make chisels for carving tools. The statues were carved out of a type of harder pumice stone called tuff. Some have hats that were made out of red volcanic pumice called scoria. Shells and obsidian were used for their eyes. It is even more confusing how they moved these giants several miles to their resting spot. They still stand proudly like soldiers looking out at the sea. How did they get there without vehicles to move them? Some people think they dragged them or rolled them on tree trunks. This is a picture of them carving them out of the quarry. These have been carved into the quarry also, but they need to be dug out and dragged. The Rapa Nui people have always said that the statues walked from the quarry. Scientists are still trying to figure it out. And believe it or not, they may have actually walked. 2 anthropologists from the University of Cal State Long Beach think they have it figured out. Watch National Geographic to see how walking was a possibility. They used ropes and they wobbled them, and the bottom of it was sort of rounded and wobbly. And then later, when it came to its resting space, they carved this so that it was flat and would stand. But while it was wobbly, they could rock it back and forth to get it to its spot. Here's the Europeans that arrived on Easter Sunday, and they named it Easter Island. This is the map of Easter Island. These are the moai statues with their red hats. Here's where it's carved into the side. You can see its nose right here. Its chin carved into the side of the quarry. And here you can see their hats. These hats have fallen, and they're taller than an adult. On Easter Island in the center, there's a big round magnetic rock. They call it the navel or belly button of the earth. It's supposed to give you powers or energy if you touch it. These are some of the statues that have been buried partially. You can see underneath. And here these men are digging it out. This is showing how they think they got there. Some people think aliens helped them. And then this is the anthropologists at Cal State Long Beach trying to figure out if they could have wobbled it. And so they made a replica of it, and they're wobbling it, and you can see it wobbles. When it wobbles down and they pull it, it does leave big grooves going down the road or in the dirt. If you look at Easter Island from outer space, you can see many of these deep grooves in the ground. And at the end of each one of the Moai statues has fallen over. So you can see that it's dug grooves into the ground.